In a world of husky voices, 5 friends who don't actually know each other will come together on a server where everyone else is worse than them. Come with us for the adventure of a lifetime. Starring fucking Juice.
Don't know how you can't do it, it's fucking...
I paid to fuck this up.
I didn't fuck this one up.
Quarter. What? Wait.
I'm gonna go get Daddy's alcohol, get my tumbler on, and then beat my dick like it owes me money.
Keta Perry.
I roll.
And Dark Tap.
Not getting wrecked half as hard now that I'm actually remembering to use Rune Tap. Hey guys, what's up? It's Darkmech here with a rebooted challenge mode guide for Skyreach. Now for those of you who don't know, today is Backwards Hat Appreciation Day for my man Juice. Now for those of you who don't know Juice, dude bursted 850k and is practically a god. Wears backwards hats, leaves the 5950 sticker on a brim. Word. Now getting into this, guys, so Skyreach, we're going to pull the first 2 packs. Now we wanted to pull the first 3 packs, but at the top you can see there is a padding pack there, and if we had pulled that in, we would have died. So we just pull the first 2 and we wait for the pack to go away. There's nothing of real interest in this first 2, but as you can see, moving up here, there is a skull that's gone up on the mob of interest, which is the Life Pact Familiar. Now, the Life Pack needs to die first, guys. Reason being, if you kill something else, the Life Pack sacrifices itself, and that mob that you were killing goes to full HP. So kill the Life Pact first, and then you're going to get straight onto the Herald. Now, as you can see, there's some spinning chakrams going on the ground, and you don't want to stand in them, so make sure you're moving. Also on the Herald, you could see before there was a buff on him. I think it's called a Solar Zone or something like that. Whatever it is, it's yellow shit on the ground and it heals the fuck out of him. So make sure that you grip him out or you move him out of that if that happens. Use your asphyxiations or your cap totems or your shockwaves, whatever you can to try and lock him down. Just kill him as quick as you can. And then you just want to clean up these last 2. And the dervishes, they'll cast out those the chakrams that stand on the ground and that. Again, just don't stand in them. This next pat you want to pick up, we probably could have picked it up a little quicker. There's a Solar Familiar in there. The Solar Familiar will cast a thing called Flashbang. Now what you can do is at the end of the cast, you can either spin away from it, or you can stun it or interrupt it. The Binding Solar will cast a thing called Solar Wrath, which you can Dark Sim. It is worth Dark Simming or Spell Reflecting. You can see I use it there and it hits for 76k, so it's worth doing, guys. And otherwise, just clean them up. I'm not going to go through all the mobs in here, but I am just going to tell you about the ones of interest. So get that pack down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move up to these 4 Arakoa. We're going to pre-pot, and we're going to run them onto the boss. So pre-pot, pick up these 4, and then we're going to get a raw, and we're going to run up to the first boss, Ranjit. Now on my first challenge mode guides I made, we heroed on this. Doing a kind of different strat with these guys on this, we don't actually hero on it, and it actually works out really well. The idea is, see these wind walls that spawn up with reflective blades and grounding totems. Now you can actually reflect that, so you can see Quarter in there with deterrence reflecting that wind wall. Now the thing you need to make sure is that you jump out when deterrence finishes. You can see Juice grabbing this one on the left of your screen there, popping deterrence, running in and reflecting that damage. So obviously every little bit helps, guys, and the reflecting and the mirror blades and that are really massive in challenge modes now, and a huge advantage to know about. So with the 4 winds, you can see we're just going to move Ranjit around the platform. I thought I was okay to get around this wind wall. You can see it's kind of invisible, but I still get hit, and it does a fair bit of damage, so just watch out for those. He'll also cast a lens flare on someone. It's on Quarter there, and you can see it just follows them and leaves pools of shit around. Just try not to run them in front of your party. Now once he's down, we're going to pick up this Dread Raven. Now I wanted to pull the Dread Raven into the left pack. We've done it on previous challenge modes, and this group actually had better DPS. Unfortunately, there ended up being a shortage of spades, and there was too much sand in the vaginas, and we had to kill it down here. Now you can actually kill the Dread Raven in between these things on the bottom of the stairs where I'm about to get thrown to, in between these. And apparently you just don't sort of move, but me being me, I've been thrown off the edge before, so I just kill him this way and bring him back to the stairs when he's about to die. Once he's down, guys, we are going to prepot, and we're going to go up to the pat to the left, and we're going to focus the adept down first. Now I use Scabbard here, which was pretty nub. I really shouldn't have used Scabbard here. With prepot, the stun rotation, and people's DPS, it would have been easily enough, and I could have had a greater benefit with Scabbard on the boss. So if you're in that position, don't use Scabbard here, save it for the boss. When they're nearly dead, go and grab this last mob just inside the door. Probably could have grabbed it a little quicker. The dervish there is going to cast Cyclone, so once your adept's down, just watch the dervish for the Cyclone cast and try to interrupt them. But throw out your stuns, your frag belts, and you really shouldn't have too many problems on that pat. So we got 20 seconds on prepot, and we're going to wait that 20 seconds. I talked about it in Iron Docs, but I didn't really harp on about it in my first challenge modes, and that is about prepotting. Prepotting's massive, guys, and it brings such an advantage to challenge modes, especially if you're struggling for times. I certainly didn't do it enough in my first videos, and sometimes I forget to do it, but just try and be conscious of it, because it is a huge boost to your group if everyone's prepotting. So with the second boss, Rukhmar, you're going to pull him over to the corner. You're going to face him away from your group. Reason you face him away is you can see he casts these smashes, and you don't want to get your group collected by them. Now in challenge mode, there are 3 healing beams you have to deal with, so make sure you get people with damage reduction abilities to go in them. People like DKs can AMS, rogues can cloak of shadows or feint, hunters can deter. Try and make it as easy as you can. Use your health pots and things like that. Sometimes you will have to deal, you will be in a beam and you will take a smash as a tank, but realistically you can see there I took one and it wasn't sort of too bad. We only got 1 burst though, and we use hero on that boss, so I really should have said that. We hero on that second boss, Rukhmar. And that's the reason to get him down quickly and avoid sort of any of that struggle. You can see Keta did quite a bit of DPS. So then we're out the door and we're going to pop army. I miss prepot there as well. No, I didn't. It just it hasn't gone on my logo. It is up on my toolbar though. So pop army, prepot, and we're going to pull all 3 birds. Now this is where I wanted to use Scabbard. And if you didn't notice, I'll mention it now. I actually ended up using Scabbard on that last boss at fucking like 6%. It was the dumbest fucking thing ever. And you can see my DPS is super fail here. Now, if you're not comfortable or capable, or if you don't have an army, just pull the 2 packs of birds together and then pull the single pack. But if you can pull all 3 together, it saves you a fuck ton of time. Stand in melee range as the birds will fixate, and this way they all stay clumped up. You can stun rotation and you can kill them. And you can actually see their quarter ended up beating Juice on that pack. I figure I hang enough shit on quarter, so I may as well give him something there. Awesome job, quarter. So then we're on to the third boss, Rukhmar. Now, Rukhmar for tanks. Your focus point is this Pierce Armor cast. Every time Pierce Armor comes up, you need to use active mitigation to avoid getting a stack. So Warriors, Shield Barrier or a Shield Block. You may as well use Shield Barrier though, because it's less rage. Monks, Blackout Kick or Elusive Brew. Guard does not work anymore as active mitigation. Death Knights, we use Death Strike. Bears and Paladins, I got no idea. With Quills here, you can stay out for Quills as a DK with your stupid healing powers and whatnot, and your Resto Druid hots. You can stay out quite easily. If you do need to use the pole though to line of sight, just use it. It's not going to make or break either. When you are out of melee range, Rukhmar will cast Screech, and that just does some AoE damage to your party. But again, if you get out and get in, it's not really a huge problem. The little ads, you either want to kite them around, stun them, or if you do have to kill them, just don't kill them over the piles of ashes. You can see the hunters kiting them around there. And that is pretty much it on this boss, guys. You really shouldn't have sort of too many troubles. You'll have your 2 sets of Quills, and as I said, if you can stay out, you get that extra bit of DPS on him, and you may as well do that. Once he is dead, we're going to jump off the edge, and the reason we're going to jump off the edge is we'll have hero up for the last boss. You also, when you die here, you respawn in the second boss room. So it's no time to get back, and you're going to have hero up, which is a pretty big advantage. So kill him and jump off the edge and die. So then we're going to release and we're going to run back up the stairs here and into the room. Now there is another shortcut here, guys, and I hadn't tried it before, and I wasn't going to be that guy in the challenge mode that sort of made everyone wait by fucking it up. But you can see just Juice It here. He jumps off the top, gliders around onto the bird, and you can skip the wind maze. And that is well worth practicing, you know, if you're struggling for that for a little bit of time, because you can see how long it takes me to run the wind maze here. With Quarter here, if we all had have done that, Cade was already through in Ghost Wolf and stuff like that, but if we had have been able to do that, we would have saved so much fucking time running through this AIDS no wind maze. But that's just the way it is. Get to the top of the stairs, we're going to rebuff, we're going to eat and get well fed again, and then we're going to go onto this last pack. Now this last pack is the last one before we invis. And again, guys, you can see there's a life pact familiar in here. So whenever there's a life pact familiar, that's what we're going to focus. And then there's a herald or an adept, they come after. So Zerg down the life pact familiar first, and then we're going to get on to the adept in this pack. Now the adept will summon Sun Trinket. He'll also do the solar heals and things like that. Just be wary of them. There'll be a storm up here as well, guys. You need to watch out for the storm. It does a fuck ton of damage. You can actually see Quarter gets kind of caught in a storm and then gets cycloned on 0% health, which is fucking crazy, and saves him. It's coming up. There it is there. There's the storm hit, and there's 0% HP and cyclone. So fucking lucky motherfucker there. Clean these up, guys, and then we're going to wait for the Dread Raven. Now just be really careful. Once these die, don't go running through the door fucking gun-ho, because you will pull that nasty piece of work there. So with the Dread Raven, guys, mark it up and we're going to follow it. We're going to see which side it goes to, then we're going to invis and run sort of behind it. If you get too close, it will see you. Just watch where it goes up the top. We're following it at the moment for this exact reason. It can turn around when it gets to the top and come back the same way. So once you find out which way it's going, that's obviously the way you're going to opt. So we're still waiting for it to get up near this construct here. Waiting. It's gone across. We can see it's not turning around, so we're going to get a roar up and we're going to invis, pop out. We're going to get a roar, pop our potions, and we're going to run in past all this and into the right side and go all the way to the corner of the platform. You can, if you have the mad skills, get a hunter or a rogue or whatnot to run, pull all this. You follow. They then, what the fuck am I looking for? Feign death or vanish or whatnot. And then you've got your prepots with your hero up, or you can death run it or whatnot. But for normal people, this is just the easiest way to do it. Again, guys, you want to be dark simming or spell reflecting the casts off the boss. They do quite a bit of damage. Interrupt them when they're not up. These zealots that come down will pick someone up and fly them towards the edge. They can be slowed, stunned. Hunters can feign death out of them. There is a macro that I got off Versus that I'll pop in the description, where you can actually asphyx them in the air and they don't actually pick anyone up. But I was spamming it and the bird was behind me, so there was no chance of that working. You can also see there's an ad trapped at the front there. Through the fight, High Sage will summon ads, and what they'll do is they'll cast a shielding, which reduces a shitload of damage. What you want to do is you want to trap them, or you want to make sure if you do have to kill them that you're interrupting the shielding cast. If you've got 2 hunters though and you get 2 ads, you can just trap both of them. You shouldn't get really more than 2. If you're doing 2, there's sort of a big problem with your DPS. So that is pretty much it, guys. That is Skyreach rebooted with a few tricks with the mirrored blades and a different strategy. I hope it's been helpful. As always, guys, if you need any help at all, please hit me up and I'll do my best to give you a hand. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.